As it has been since time immemorial, one story ends as another begins, as is the cycle of rebirth. That cycle was laid bare at the Battle of Carteneau, the battle to decide the fate of Eorzea. The invading forces of the Garlean Empire, who had previously lost their commander, were fulfilling his last will, and fought back attempts to stop the Empire's devastating plan, crashing the lesser moon Dalamud into the Eorzean continent and wiping it off the map. The plan, orchestrated by the Legion's previous commander, Nael van Darnus, would bring an end to the conflict, by bringing an end to all those causing it. Defending their homeland, the three main city-states of Eorzea combined their strength: the pirates and privateers of Limsa Lominsa, the forest-dwelling citizens of Gridania, and the people of the fighting and gambling hub of the land, Uldar, joined forces to fight back the Garlean threat, in an attempt to stop the moon from falling, but it was too late. The moon's descent could not be stopped. The Archon Louisoix and his disciples even attempted to beseech the gods for help, only to find his call unanswered. The Warriors of Light were in the midst of the battle, defending their allies and doing their best to repel the Imperial forces, but it was for naught. Deeper cracks appeared in the surface of the moon, and a gigantic column fell straight into the battlefield. It appeared technological. The armies watched on as more and more of the moon broke away until suddenly it broke apart. It was no moon at all. Wings ruptured forth, and from within burst a primal, a magical, revered being. But this was no ordinary primal. Its power and fury was far greater than any could conceive. An elder primal, Bahamut. With a single roar, he sent the broken remains of his prison across the land as mighty meteors, smashing into the ground and tearing through it, rocketing even into the civilian locations such as the city of Uldar. Not sated by its already awe-inspiring display of power, the Elder Primal unleashed bursts of energy from its wings and battered them in all directions, across the battlefield and across the seas, as far as the pirates' home of Limsa Lominsa. The battlefield had become more dangerous, as one such burst of energy headed for the Warriors of Light. The Archon, Louisoix, rushed to their aid and erected a barrier to protect them from Bahamut's might. The two clashed, protective magics against the unfettered rage of the primal. The barrier wouldn't hold, and with one roar it shattered. Stalling for time had worked, however. The amount of energy, or ether, if you will, that had seeped into the battlefield from Bahamut's awakening was enough to summon the gods Louisoix had attempted to contact previously. With the aid of his fellow Archons at the ritual stones of the 12, their prayers called for the aids of the gods, and the gods answered. Through their power, they erected a new prison for Bahamut, a new moon to trap him within and spare the land of his wrath. But even the power of the gods couldn't contain a creature so brimming with power. He sent forth an almighty shockwave and disintegrated his new prison to nothing, shattering Louisoix's staff in the process. Bahamut would not make the same mistake again, and called forth the ambient ether to produce a blast to destroy the Warriors of Light and Louisoix, so they might never meddle again. Seeing no way around it, Louisoix cast a spell and sent the warriors away, as to spare them from his fate. What happened after that was unclear, but the Warriors of Light were safe. A strange side effect of the magic cast to save them had led to the land forgetting who they were, and the great deeds they had done. A blank page with which to fill with new stories to tell, songs to sing, and adventures to pursue. A land to rediscover. A realm reborn. If you liked that short story, please let me know in the comments below. If you have any corrections you would like to throw my way, all constructive criticism is always appreciated. And if you like this and would like me to narrate more of the Final Fantasy XIV story as a, well, story, please let me know. Thank you. The backing track for this is a piano cover of Answers by the YouTuber DreamEyes, a link to which I shall place in the description of this video. If you're listening to this as audio, simply search Answers piano cover by DreamEyes on YouTube. Thank you very much.